Okay, back on this cockpit front again today. So we've got our support frame underneath, so we'll be looking to get that coated in fiberglass, or resin rather, and reinforced with fiberglass today. But before we do that, we need to just sort the demisters, and we've got this demister here which Richard has managed to find. So this is actually off an Aston Martin, I think it's a Vantage actually. So we didn't specifically go for Aston Martin. The only reason we've gone for this is just because it seemed to have the right profile that we needed to match, or right curve to match our windscreen. We did some measuring and we seem to think this will probably work. So what we'll do is we'll do a quick test fit on that first. If that works, then we can get the holes cut in the top here. Okay, so we've just cut this vent as a test fit into just a spare piece of MDF, because it's actually quite a difficult shape to cut, and actually it's also got sort of like a 45-degree angle here as well, so and it's really tight. You've not got a lot of tolerance on this sort of overlap here. So yeah, we've just cut it in this test piece initially, and then what we'll do now is now we know what size to cut it, we'll cut it in the actual template. Okay, so that's worked out really well. That demister looks really nice there, follows the contour of the screen, should give us hopefully decent demisting. We've not done this side yet, don't need to be honest with you. This is just a template, so when we come to actually do the final piece, the final part out of ply I think it will be, then we'll cut that into there, that's no problem at all. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to put, we've got the plenum at the moment, we just need an end on that plenum, so we're just going to cut a little piece of timber that will go inside here, and that will just box off that plenum. So our cockpit support frame is now complete. So we've added the stops here for the end of the plenum, so that effectively creates a airtight box here, which is where the Demister sits here. We've got our feed here, we've got a separator here, and what we'll probably do maybe is run a 70mm pipe down into the cabin for the actual feed for these Demisters, pop that through here and seal it in, and then that will supply air into the plenum. We've put an extra fast mount fixing here and on the end here as well, and we've done that on this side as well, so just replicated it exactly the same. And then we've also put the fast mounts in the middle here. Now we did want to coat this in resin today, but we just put the moisture meter on it and it's still a little bit high. It's about 15%, and we want to ideally be below 10%, so we're going to let this dry a little bit more, because what we don't want to do is seal in the moisture. Okay, so we're back on this cockpit frame today, this support frame. This has been drying now for well over a week, and it's lovely and dry. So what we'll do is we'll pop out these little fast mounts. These will just draw back out again. We'll get those out and we'll give it a quick coat of polyester resin.
We'll turn this around. We'll turn this around.
So we put a coat of resin on these, and in fact we had some spare resin. We mixed it with some white pigment. We had some spare, so what we did actually was laid some glass across the front and some reinforcing inside the edges. We've let that set up for half an hour. Now we've cut some fresh pieces, so we've got some glass on top here all ready to go. So Rich is just mixing up some resin and we'll get these all glassed into place, and also we'll do the insides in here as well. So both sides have now had a complete layer of 450 gram chop strand mat. I think Richard said he just got one more edge to do here, but other than that they're both pretty much done. Look a bit of a mess at the moment, but once these have been trimmed with a multi-tool, given them a quick sand with some 120 grit, these should look perfectly fine. Bear in mind that it's all hidden anyway, and they'll also be robust, they'll be strong, and they'll be water or weatherproof. Not that should ever see any weather, but condensation, that sort of thing. These should last for quite some time. Just got this middle section to finish off now, so we've got to come up the sides and we've got to do this top edge. Okay, so it's the next morning. We've left these overnight to set up, and now these are nice and dry. So what we'll do now is we'll use the multi-tool just to get rid of these nasty pokey bits. We'll give it a light sand on the corners just to make sure there's no sharp edges, and those then will be pretty much done. We've just got two sides left to do on this part, and again just a little bit of trimming and sanding, and that will be ready as well. Okay, this morning we're going to be working on our support frame again. So a couple of days ago Richard just came in with some resin on the top here, and this is all looking really nice now and is dry. All we need to do now is just drill out our original holes that we use for the fast mount, so we'll just be using this little cone bit for that, because unfortunately we've glassed over those, although we know where they are. We've got the measurements for those, and we've also just got a little bit here that's just a little bit rough. I think we've got something on this side as well, so we'll just sand this down and give this an extra coat of resin as well. Richard loves the taste of a bit of white resin. That looks wrong. So that is now sorted. So we've done our little repair in here, just sorted that little bubble out that was in there and put another coat of resin with some glass on. When that dries, we'll just clean off the pokey bits, that's no problem at all. We've also put some resin in the back of the fast mount holes as well, just to make sure that they are weatherproof, and we've also put the fast mounts in the top. So that is now all done. And we've just touched up a few little bits as well that needed a little bit of attention, but they are basically now finished. So we'll leave these two set up. Okay, that's going to be a wrap for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next one.